Welcome to the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk Podcast, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is, here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron.
Welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk Podcast. I'm Terry Cameron. Today, we are lucky to have a special guest with us, Mr. Tom Lochiatto, president of the Media Driven Response Company.
Nice to be with you.
Nice to have you. Tom's been working with our dealership for how long now, Tom?
Well, off and on for probably about 12 years.
So anybody that sticks with somebody that long must be doing a really good job, and Tom has done that for us. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about your company and what you do?
Well, we specialized in half-hour infomercials from the beginning of 1996 all the way till 2010, and when the recession came, we had to rethink that model. We still do the infomercial. It still works great, generates leads for car dealers from coast to coast, but now we do all sorts of video, and we get involved in social media, regular commercials, YouTube management, Facebook management, so we've diversified ourselves.
Well, you brought it up about the social media. What can salespeople do to get more leads from social platforms?
Well, the first thing they need to do is embrace it. There's so many people out there who are afraid of Facebook as an example, and that's a great one to start with because it's huge and any salesperson can generate leads. So the first thing to do is to have a Facebook page or a business Facebook page. They need to embrace that first and foremost, and then to understand the basics. You're only going to get as many leads as you have friends or likes if it's a business page. So you have to constantly ask people when they come in the door, as a prospect for a car, are you on Facebook? Make them your friend, and there you go. Once they become a friend, guess what? You got access to their friends list. So it's a huge way to grow your audience. And then there are some things to do to get leads from that, like posting videos and being active on it on a daily basis.
So obviously prospecting has changed tremendously over the past several years.
Yeah, and what I like about it is, you remember back in the old days, guys would sit around smoking cigarettes out the back door waiting for people to walk on the lot. That's changed dramatically now. Now there's some things to do. Besides doing your letters and your follow-up phone calls and your referrals, you've got this huge tool in your hand, and everyone has it. It's a phone, a smartphone, and you can be out there throwing social ads out. I liken it to a salesperson now has their own TV channel. It's their Facebook page or their business Facebook page, whichever direction they decide to go. And that's a powerful, powerful tool.
I've never even thought about it that way, having their own TV channel. Let me ask you this. What type of post works best on Facebook, in your opinion?
Hands down, there's no question. I watch this stuff every day at all the dealerships that I work for, and I watch all the salespeople's posts. Video is numero uno. If you want to get the most views of a video, if you want to get a post shared, it's video, hands down. So those are the posts that do the very, very best.
Well, I doing the podcast, I was really, a little bit afraid because I wasn't quite happy with the way my voice sounded on the radio. So I imagine in video, there'd be some salespeople a little bit taken aback from having to stand in front of a camera. How can salespeople become courageous when shooting themselves on video?
Well, the first thing they got to do is understand that practice makes perfect, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. It's just like when you remember back in high school and you took speech class. You were terrified to get up in front of a group of people and give a speech. It's no different. We all have that problem with getting in front of a camera or a group of people or what have you. And the more you do it, you get used to it. And so I encourage you to just throw yourself out there. The other way to think of it, and I've always looked at it this way, a lot of research out there, 50% of the people will hate the way you look, hate the sound of your voice, and will not do business with you. But you don't care about that half. You care about the other half who will trust you, like you, and want to do business with you. So focus on that. You will have an audience regardless of how your voice sounds or how nervous you get or how many mistakes you make. It doesn't matter. Just keep doing it over and over and over. And that's one of the things that I do in my company is I work with a lot of GMs and owners to get them comfortable to do their TV commercials. And if you look at the very beginning of when they started to where they are now, 2 or 3 or 4 years later, they're awesome in front of the camera. You will get better. So just throw yourself out there and start doing it.
You know, and I've seen that in some of the videos that you've done for our salespeople when they were doing the walk-around presentations, how confident they looked by the time they were finished, practicing this a few times until the final product was put out.
Yeah, absolutely. You will increase in your expertise. You will become more natural and comfortable and confident, and you will start to focus on the things you should focus on. Instead of your performance, focus on the content of your video message.
Let me ask you this. Are there any tips you can provide for salespeople to produce better video using their phones?
The number one thing, classic mistake everybody makes, is they go outside to do a customer delivery or whatever it might be for a photo or a video, and they forget about the sun. They don't regard the sun at all. And so half of the pictures look really bad because they're backlit. You got to think of the sun as your personal spotlight, and the spotlight should be on the talent. So that means the talent needs to be facing the sun, and the camera needs to be facing the talent away from the sun. That's the number one problem that everybody has with taking pictures or producing video. They have no regard for lighting. The other thing is there's all kinds of really cool, inexpensive editing software for cell phones, smartphones. You should get one of those and learn to use it, start playing with it, because those videos that you do start to edit and marry clips together and put text graphics on and all that kind of stuff, those look more professional, and you will feel better about the video you produce once you go down that line. But there's going to be a learning curve. Just throw yourself out there. Find one that's free. There's free ones. I have one for my phone I paid a one-time fee of $90 for, and it's Adobe. We use Adobe Premiere for editing our TV commercials, so it's made by the same manufacturer that makes our high-end video software for editing. You don't have to go that route, but somewhere between $0 and one-time fee of $80 is probably an editing package for you for your smartphone.
Tom, in the time that you've been helping dealerships and salespeople with the videos and using their phones for that, have you seen any pretty good results from that?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a guy here in the store. I'll use him as an example. His name's Clint. I won't mention his last name, but he's a guy who was skeptical of Facebook probably a couple years ago, and now is at the point where we do these monthly contests. He's winning them every month. He won today, in fact, for the most videos posted on Facebook. And I've seen him go from not selling anything on Facebook to now he's getting 3 or 4 sales a month coming in from his Facebook efforts. Got another guy here by the name of Jamie. He consistently gets 5 or 6 sales a month from his Facebook efforts. So it is a growing thing. It's going to get bigger and bigger. It's not going to get smaller and smaller.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty good. If you're an average salesperson selling 8 to 10 cars a month, by getting involved in this video and using Facebook and everything that Tom's talking about, just like the salespeople here, you're talking about becoming a 10 to 15 car salesperson. Absolutely. Just overnight with this.
Yeah, you just got to work it and stick with it and not give up. And remember, you got it in your hand all day long. There's no excuse not to go down this road, and it is the future.
Tom, you have any other tips for salespeople?
Just remember, it's a numbers game, and it's all about customers. And when you're talking about social marketing, every time a customer walks on the lot, if you're not asking them to be your Facebook friend, you're missing an opportunity. Not only an opportunity with that prospect, but their entire friend list that they have on their Facebook page. That entire friend list could be your prospects. So if you could just remember that, everybody should be asking every possible person who walks on a car dealership lot, are you on Facebook? Want to be friends? If I was in the business, I would be doing that every day.
So, Tom, can you tell the listeners how they can reach out and find you?
Yeah, my company's name is Media Driven Response, but we break it down to the initials, so it's MDR Television. So you could go to MDR Television YouTube channel and see all our videos there. We got over 1,500 videos that we produce for car dealers all over the country. You can go to mdrtelevision.com. That's our website. You can go to MDR Television, our Facebook page. What else is there? There's probably something else I'm not thinking of, but there's the old-fashioned way. You could call me at 1-800, or better yet, that's 214-282-8611. I'm learning this. Use my cell phone, folks. Call me personally. 214-282-8611.
So I see Tom advertising on a lot of different social platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook. And if you're not using him, you're really making a mistake. If you want to get in the ball game, you need to get a hold of Tom.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that.
Guys, thanks again for hanging out with us today at the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk podcast. I really need you to hop on over to iTunes, give me a review, write some comments. I sure do appreciate your feedback. And remember, the sky's the limit. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. Please rate it on iTunes and visit the 10minutesalestalk.com website to send an email. We appreciate your valuable feedback, and don't forget to share the show with a friend.